Last night, episode 1 of Hard Knocks, the 2020 LA Rams, LA Chargers season began. Episode 1. And I'll be honest, man, this is the most interesting season of Hard Knocks I've ever watched. Really, the first time you watch Hard Knocks is really cool because you're seeing everything for the first time. Once you watch Hard Knocks one time, you're like, okay, I get it. I get the formula. I get how this works. Maybe there's a good coach like Rex Ryan with a great personality who makes it more interesting. But for the most part, once you watch one season of Hard Knocks, you've seen it all. It's really not that crazy. It's not that fascinating anymore. It loses the charm very quickly. Well, let me tell you what. Hard Knocks in 2020 is very, very fascinating because we're really learning the rules of a whole new world we've never seen before. COVID-19 has become, it's just kind of cliche, but it's become kind of a character in Hard Knocks where you have teams going through daily testing and they're talking about how, Anthony Lynn, the Chargers head coach, literally said, we basically have two opponents this year. We have our schedule, the teams we're playing against, and we have COVID-19. And you have the LA Rams building this big, spread out temporary facility at Cal Lutheran University. And, the Rams facility is just crazy. The Rams are like practicing and training and having meetings in this crazy indoor, outdoor, like temporary facility. It's all spread out. It's really kind of cool. They have like outdoor workout, like outdoor weight rooms, all intense. And really what's interesting about the Rams facility to me is that they built a place to fit their needs during coronavirus. And one of my high school teammates, Samson Ebicom, plays for the LA Rams. I've never had him on the show. I'm going to wait till he retires to have him on the show, if he'll ever come on. Samson, please. But I now know that one of the questions someday, if I ever ask Samson, hey, what was it like to be in the NFL during coronavirus? What was it like someday when Samson's done playing and can come on the show? And that's my decision, not his. I just would rather players not come on until they're safe, and that way they can say whatever they want. They're more free to talk when they're not playing. I want to hear what's it like to be in a temporary facility during coronavirus. You're literally opening refrigerators with your feet because they don't want you touching with your hands. It's crazy to me. And coaches are trying to figure out, when do we wear a mask? When don't we wear a mask? It's all over the place. At a walkthrough, do you wear a mask? Yes? ? Do we have to? I don't know. When you're wearing a helmet, obviously probably not. It's weird and it's messy. And so it's very fascinating to watch Hard Knocks because of the wrinkle with coronavirus. They've even got this really fun space twist on there. There's that classic Hard Knocks theme song. And this year, whether it's a progression naturally of the Hard Knocks theme song, or maybe to me it feels like they got this space, eerie, mysterious, medical type remix of their normal theme song. It's quite fun. Now, both coaches referenced, both Sean McVay and Anthony Lynn referenced the Marlins baseball team. They're talking about how, look, we got to be smart when we're away from the facility. It's interesting. Every team in sports must be looking at the Miami Marlins saying, don't do what baseball did, right? Be smart when you're not here. And a big takeaway for me, to be honest, the show opened with Anthony Lynn, the Chargers head coach, doing a Zoom meeting. And look, I am so lucky I work alone. I work from my house. I'm very, I haven't had to do any Zoom meetings. Thank goodness. And Zoom meetings, if you had, tell me, if you've ever done a Zoom meeting, tell me what it's like. Because to me, watching on TV, it looks awful. It looks like audio's weird, communication's really hard. I would hate to do Zoom meetings. It looks completely, honestly what it reminds me of, you hear podcasts recently, a lot of podcasts, even big ones, are doing shows with really bad audio, over the phone because people are at home. It's you can't record on a microphone at your house and Dropbox yourself the MP3 or the WAV file. What the heck? Why does Zoom? To me, Zoom does not seem like a really, and maybe I'll lose a Zoom sponsorship. I don't know, but they just don't seem like a great way to have real in-depth communication. Seems like it's okay, it's good enough, but I know I don't look at Zoom and go, yeah, that's how I want to communicate with my team and my friends and my coworkers. No way. Seems awful. Now, did anybody see the Rams head coach Sean McVay's house? Anybody see that? He's got this. I thought, man, good for Sean McVay. He's got a pool. He's got his fiance, the dog, this incredible view of LA, from the LA hills looking down over LA. My goodness, what a house. Good for Sean McVay. I just saw that house. I had to share. I was like, man, that's a dude's living the dream. Got a view, got a pool. Pretty cool. Now, there was a cool moment with Jalen Ramsey where he claimed a boundary with the media during episode 1 because he didn't want to talk about his contract. And like he said, they asked him, what about your contract? And he said, my agent and the front office is dealing with that. And honestly, I think Jalen Ramsey truly is just focused on football. I don't think he, for example, I have an agent. I hired my dad as my agent to deal with businesses, to deal with sponsorships, to really filter through emails. Because I get so many emails from companies, and a lot of them are junk. A lot of them are like, we got a call from Israel yesterday. Some guy who does Roku TV saying, we have a company, want to put you on Roku. And I looked it up and I was like, this is nonsense. This is ridiculous. We're not going to do it. It looks like trash. And so I hired my dad as my agent to filter through all that stuff. And I got to tell you, man, when a good sponsorship comes, we have a meeting, we talk about it, we discuss, and I say yes or no. But for the most part, my dad, who's my agent, literally takes care of all of it. I don't want to worry about the business side. I'm focused on making content as much and as quickly as possible. And so I'm sure Jalen Ramsey's in the same boat where he's basically Jalen Ramsey says, I got to work out. I got to go to meetings. I got to watch film. I got to be healthy. I got to eat the right things. He's like, I am focused on being a football player. My agent, the front office, they're worried about the contract. It's not a big concern of mine. And I totally believe him. I think he's totally right. I don't think Jalen Ramsey cares about the business side as long as eventually he gets a new contract and he gets paid. In the meantime, he doesn't care. He's not worried about it. And so I thought the media was a little bit over the top. And I thought Jalen Ramsey was totally justified by claiming a boundary with the media, saying, hey, I'm not going to talk anymore about this. Now, it was also interesting to see that when the Chargers cut players, the Chargers especially, maybe the Rams did this too. They didn't show it very much with the Rams. But when the Chargers cut players, Anthony Lynn was on the phone with everybody they cut saying, hey, stay ready, stay in shape. And the kind of consensus for at least the LA Chargers is that teams are expecting a lot of player movement and transactions between. They think, look, we're going to lose a lot of players to COVID, a lot of players to potentially injuries. And so we want everybody that's been in our facility to keep in contact, stay in shape. These are guys who know our playbook. And if we need to call somebody on short notice, the right guard, the tight end we just cut that knows our playbook's been with our team for an entire offseason, we're going to keep them around and keep them as close as we can so that they're a short phone call away if and when we need to call them back to join our team. There was even one player who got cut. He went to Anthony Lynn's office, got really mad. He's like, what is this? What the heck? Like, what? I can't remember exactly the words he used. I think he said something like, this is nonsense, or this is ridiculous, something like that. And Anthony Lynn, the coach, was very kind. Anthony Lynn talked to him, set the player off. And when the player left, Anthony Lynn went to Tom Telesco, the Chargers general manager's office. He just walked down the hallway and said, hey, let's keep this guy on the short list. I really like his fire. Anthony Lynn really liked the energy and the fact that the guy got cut and he cared. He was angry and he wanted to play. And actually, I thought that was a great moment where Anthony Lynn had some self-awareness. He said, okay, look, here's what I can do. If I walk to the general manager's office, the cameras are running. If I tell Tom Telesco, hey, let's keep the player on the short list, what he's doing is actually using the camera to encourage the player who, no doubt, I'm sure that player is he's a tight end. I'm sure that guy's watching at home. And if he's not watching, somebody who knows him is watching and says, hey, did you see what your coach said about you? He said, hey, we like the guy's fire. We hope he keeps working. Keep him on the short list to keep him around. So the player sitting at home watches Hard Knocks and goes, yeah, I got to keep training. I got to stay in shape. I got to be ready. That's great use of the cameras by the LA Chargers to say, look, if we cut you, stay ready, stay working, stay in shape, because we might need you in a month from now, in 2 months from now. Stay ready, be focused. We might give you a call down the road. I just got to tell you, man, this is the most interested I have ever been watching Hard Knocks. Maybe even more interested than the first time I watched Hard Knocks. The first time I watched Hard Knocks was, what's the coach's name? He's the coach, Herm Edwards. Herm Edwards with the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh my gosh. I love Herm Edwards. But this is because the first time I watched Hard Knocks, again, it's new information you've never seen before. That's exactly what this version of Hard Knocks is. In 2020, we're seeing a completely new world for the first time. And look, I'll be totally honest. Hard Knocks last night gave me hope. Hard Knocks made me feel like, you know what? Seems like it's working. They're testing. There's a lot of protocols in place. Maybe we actually are going to get a season. I was very skeptical. When I saw Hard Knocks was going to LA, I was like, why? All you're going to do is make it hard. You know, how is having HBO cameramen in the building going to make it easier to keep things contained? And actually, I think Hard Knocks is a great message to the world to say, look, we're the NFL. Here's what we have in place. And if you're concerned about the NFL season, here's why you shouldn't be. Hard Knocks really is giving people hope, saying, look, it's going to work. To me, I watched last night and went, okay, you know what? It looks like they got their stuff figured out. So I think Hard Knocks, I was skeptical of it being a good idea to continue filming and doing it anyway. I think I was wrong about that. Hard Knocks looks like a brilliant marketing campaign for the NFL.